Hello fellow lovers of the liminal and the weird, and welcome to a new video by Liminal Spaces. It's Friday, so it's time for a channel update. This week was The Thing week. We looked at the original novella, Who Goes There, by John W. Campbell, which was a riot. I really enjoyed reading that. My brother looked at the film The Thing by John Carpenter, which we were both surprised to find follows along with the novella much better than the original 1951 movie called The Thing from Another Planet. I also learned how strange YouTube's search function can be. I did a search on John W. Campbell's Who Goes There before I made my video, just after I'd read the novella, and nothing but audiobooks and dramatic presentations of the plot came up. So I mentioned that in my video, and it was brought to my attention that there is a channel called Literally Books that had done a huge, incredible deep reading of most of the books and the movies. In fact, Virgil at Literally Books read not only Who Goes There, he read Frozen Hell, which is the longer novel version, and he read Foster's, I think that's his name, yeah, Alan Dean Foster's novelization of the screenplay of Carpenter's The Thing. And his deep read on those three books is absolutely incredible. I went to his channel, and that's actually kind of been what I've been watching all week as I've been working, is videos by Literally Books, and I am surprised. I don't know if Virgil pissed off the algorithm gods or what happened, but he doesn't have near as many views and subscribers as he should. His video of The Thing, go check it out. It is really fun to watch. If I knew how, I would have downloaded a piece of his video, just the intro, where he starts talking about the music in John Carpenter's The Thing. You'll be hooked right away. And he really has some good things to say about the different versions of this story that have been told, specifically the three novellas and the novels. And he does great work on other stuff as well. So I highly recommend that you go to Literally Books. I'm putting a link in the description. When you click on that link, in the second row of his videos on his channel page, you will see the video entitled Who's That Thing? Click on it, watch it, and while you're there, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to him. He does great stuff. Really was very shocked by how little attention he's getting. He deserves a lot more. So yeah, just a shout out to Virgil. Go check him out and tell him I sent you, and you can get 15%. Oh wait, it's YouTube. Never mind. We get so many awesome comments on this channel, and I was thinking about the fact that for me, one of the hardest things to do is make sure to respond to everybody. And I very much want to, and I want everybody to know that we read all the comments. But in keeping our lives together and putting out this content, as you know, it takes a long time to make one of these videos. You add editing into it. It's crazy. So sometimes I feel bad about not being able to respond as deeply as I would like to some of your incredible comments. But one of the things that I've wanted to do is just make sure that I talk a little bit each week in these channel updates about the comments. So what I've decided is that I'm just going to cover my favorite comment of the week. And this week, it is an absolutely incredible comment. And it is by Sci-Fi Guy number 24. Well, maybe just Sci-Fi Guy 24. And his comment is... I should have written this down. I'm going to have to paraphrase. I'm putting it up on the screen, but I can't see it right now. So basically what he said is, and this was in response to my brother's video on The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing. Sci-Fi Guy 24 says that he decided to work in Antarctica because of the movie The Thing, which was awesome in itself, to be that inspired and decide to want to go work in one of the, I think it is like the least populated part of the Earth. Correct me if I'm wrong. All my ideas about Antarctica are like 30 years old, I swear. But the comment goes on to say that he's working in Antarctica right now and has been watching our videos. Is this true, Sci-Fi Guy 24? Are you watching our videos in Antarctica? If so, you have blown my mind. That is incredible. I would love it if you'd tell us more. I'm gonna tell you, like I just said, my ideas about Antarctica are archaic now because I haven't read or thought about Antarctica in so long. I'm surprised that you can watch YouTube in Antarctica. I hope that doesn't sound stupid. But please tell us more. That is incredible. I never expected this channel to go where it's gone so far. And we've gotten so many subscribers, but somehow the concept that we're being watched in Antarctica is the coolest thing that I can possibly imagine, especially because I'm sitting in the desert and it's almost 80 degrees today. I can't imagine the differences in the types of deserts that we're sitting in. I think you can call a frozen wasteland, no, I don't want to call Antarctica a wasteland, a frozen land, a desert. I don't know. Talk to us, Sci-Fi Guy 24. That was too cool. I would love to hear so much more. Please, in the comments, tell us about what is going on in Antarctica. What's the temperature? Not a lot of news this week. They did release the 4K release of Dune 2, and it does not include the IMAX version. And a lot of people, well, I don't know about a lot, some people on YouTube are starting to express their dissatisfaction with that choice, and I kind of agree with them. I went and saw Dune 2 in IMAX, and then a couple of days later I went and saw it in a regular theater. And for me, I felt that the regular version, the theatrical non-IMAX version, because they had to squish that down a little bit, lost the horizon. And the only way I could explain this is, in all of the shots of the desert, way up at the top, you could see the horizon. So you could see the dunes going back. And the theatrical version cuts that horizon off. Also, when you get a close-up of an actor, it cuts off their chin and the top of their head, and it makes the film feel really claustrophobic. I don't know why. I mean, I feel like the director would want the IMAX version on there because that is the more complete version of his artistic vision. I don't know why they would ever leave it off. I know that people are afraid to letterbox their screens again, but that seems like it would be so cool to have both versions. So I'm very surprised that they chose to do that. I've watched a couple of things this week. One of the things that I watched was Spaceman. Wow. I'm sorry, but that movie was kind of a train wreck, in my opinion. If you like this movie, I'm going to expect some comments to tell me what you liked about it. Because, man, I did not enjoy that experience in the slightest. Coming into this, number one, I'm an Adam Sandler fan. I like Adam Sandler. I like him when he's funny. I like him when he's serious. I know that he's fallen way out of favor in his acting, but I grew up with him. I like him. I really enjoy him. The way that the movie was described was mind-bending and deep thinking and all of those kind of things that I love. I thought it was a shoe-in. And then I watched the little, you know, when you hover on something on Netflix and it plays a little part of the movie? And here's Adam Sandler alone in a spaceship, and suddenly there's this spider on the roof talking to him. Everything about it seemed like a home run. So I watched it, and I'm just going to quickly say why I didn't like it and tell you that you really shouldn't watch it. It really wasn't worth it. Number one, it has the same artistic goals as Solaris, the movie version of Solaris. And of course, if you're interested in this, my brother did a whole video on Solaris you can go look at. It's really a fun video. But one of the things that he learned when making that movie is that the director's goal of Solaris, his main theme, was to talk about the fact that humans should never go to space. They shouldn't leave Earth. The further you get from Earth, the worse your life gets. You need to stay on Earth. And this movie had that exact same premise. In fact, I would say this movie is downright derivative of Solaris, but doesn't have any of the brilliance of Solaris. Everything is done shallowly, just barely on the surface, whereas there's a depth to Solaris that can't be beat. This movie, Spaceman, makes the alien that's trying to communicate with him into a couple's therapist. It's absolutely ridiculous. Adam Sandler has to admit he's a selfish person because he decided to go to space for 1 year. I found myself angry the whole time I was watching this because I didn't agree with anything that was going on. I do not recommend that you take any time watching this film. I'm sorry. I don't usually like to talk about stuff negatively, but that one shook me. It was so bad. All right. I also watched Fallout Episode 1. I had fun, but I felt myself kind of in and out throughout the entire episode. And my brother's doing a whole video on this next week, but I just wanted to give my thoughts really quick. I believe that there's a bit of a tone problem going on in this film, in the sense that I felt like at times it was Mad Max, and at other times it was like Deus Irae by Philip K. Dick and Roger Zelazny, which I did a video of on this channel. And I feel like I want it to pick a direction so that I can decide if I want to go along or not. Yeah, I'm going to keep watching. So there will probably be more conversations about it in weekly updates to come. What you can expect next week. So my plan was that we were going to jump to J.G. Ballard's Concrete Island. And I know that one of you in one of the comments said you've already read that recently, and I think you read it because I mentioned that I was going to do it and asked everybody to read along. And that is coming. It'll be not this week, but next week. Not this coming week, but next week. And the reason for that is because I have a buddy, Bo. I've mentioned him a couple of times on this channel. One of these days I'm going to bring him in. And he loves to read as well. And we read together, and he's been kind of keeping up with what I've put on the channel, but he really wanted to read Kafka on the Shore by Murakami, so I joined him. So next week, I'm going to be talking about Haruki Murakami's Kafka on the Shore. If you've never read Murakami, this would be a good place to jump in. Number one, although this is a weird novel, it's not a hard read. It's an easy read. Its prose flow so smoothly that you can just easily go through them. It's a page turner. It is really interesting. It's got a guy that can talk to cats, and in a weird way was kind of raised by two cats that his grandparents had. It's about a kid running away from home and an Oedipal curse. Oedipal? I don't know. That's something you guys can discuss in the comments. How do you pronounce Oedipus? Oedipus. All right. Anyway, kid running away from home with an Oedipal curse placed on him. It is, and in my opinion, and we're talking about this big in the story in the main deep read when I do that, it's got aliens. This is a sci-fi book at heart. And I think you all would really enjoy it. And if you've never read Murakami, this is a great jumping on point. And also, if you feel like Murakami is outside of sci-fi and is high or heavy literature, grab onto this. It's not what you think. In fact, any biases you have about Murakami, put them aside and give this a try. You really won't regret it. He is one of my favorite writers of all time. And trust me, when you read it, I think that you will really, really enjoy it. So next week, I'll be doing a review and a deep reading of Haruki Murakami's Kafka on the Shore. My brother Jason is going to be doing a deep dive into however many episodes of Fallout that he's watched, which will probably be like 2, maybe 3, if we're lucky. I was shocked that they released the whole season. I thought they were just going to do like one a week. So the whole season's out. I know there's already videos on the internet explaining the end. So we're behind the times. There's no way we're going to get that whole thing completely watched by Monday. But he'll be going over as much of Fallout as he has seen so far. He's also going to take a break from Asimov and jump back into Philip K. Dick. He'll be reading the next story in Paycheck and Other Stories, which is The Infinities. If you'd like to follow along with him, go ahead and read The Infinities for next week. Again, thank you everybody for watching these videos. We really appreciate it. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the subscribes. And most of all, thank you for all the wonderful comments. We are continuously in shock that people are watching this channel, and we very much appreciate it. All right, we will see you next week. Thank you so much for watching.